What's up, everybody? It is Broken Havoc here, right here on the Broken Havoc podcast, here to review Monday Night Raw. Yes, Monday Night Raw from June 7th, 2021. A show that had stuff that made no sense, and also a show that ended like a horror movie, which was not good. It was not good. If it was in a horror movie, I'd probably still crap on it, but come on now. Like, really? You ended Raw with Shayna Baszler just screaming in the end. What the hell was that? Whatever. I'll go back to that. But one thing I'm gonna tell you guys all is my apologies for not doing my SmackDown and Dynamite reviews this past weekend. Friday and Saturday was extremely hectic, and I was really tired on Sunday. Work was just insane. I worked all day on Friday, and I worked around from the morning all the way to at least the afternoon on Saturday. So my apologies. I did watch Dynamite. I actually still didn't watch SmackDown yet, so that's my fault. But I did watch Dynamite. We got Andrade. Andrade is finally in AEW, so that's awesome. Of course, we had the bull rope match with Nick Comoroto and Dustin Rhodes, which was okay, but that time slot from 10 to 12, man, it literally almost got me falling asleep. Not because the show was bad, it was just it was way too late for me, and I was extremely tired. So, but hopefully this weekend I will get you my Dynamite and SmackDown reviews up on the channel. I know it's a lot, and we're going to be dealing with all of these AEW preemptions from the NBA throughout the entire month of June, so it's going to be hectic as hell, especially during the weekends. But hey, we got to do what we got to do. So that's what's going to happen. So we got our SmackDown and Dynamite reviews returning Saturday. But let's start with this godforsaken horrible show. All right, we got the Tag Team Battle Royal consisting of The New Day, Miz and Morrison. I believe Lindsay Dorado was in that match. Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. RK Bro, which are pretty entertaining, I'm not going to lie. But Omas and AJ Styles come out, who are the tag team champions. They run down every single participant, such as The New Day, RK Bro, and everybody else. Great. So after that, The New Day interrupt. Then Randy Orton and Riddle speak after that. The Miz comes out in a wheelchair, still selling that freaking zombie shit, which I do not know why. He's selling the whole thing with the zombies, which was really stupid. John Morrison comes in and speaks. We get an RKO by Randy Orton, and then we get another RKO by Riddle on each of the members of The New Day. So that was hilarious. Then all of a sudden we come back from commercial break. We get Bobby Lashley celebrating with the girls backstage, just like every other week. So yeah. Morrison, so the Battle Royal starts. We come back to the Battle Royal. And Morrison uses the drip stick, or the stick, whatever the hell you want to call it, on Lindsay Dorado. He eliminates Lindsay Dorado. Then we get T-Bar and Mace. Morrison tries to use the stick on Mace, which is so stupid. Mace and T-Bar, the overscripted Jobber Kings, I'm going to call them now. The overscripted Jobber Kings, because Mace and T-Bar are really bad. We got a double team attempt by Mace and T-Bar. We got a double choke slam on Mace and T-Bar on The New Day. T-Bar and Mace try to eliminate Orton. Both instead choke slam Riddle. Then the Viking Raiders face off against Mace and T-Bar, but a brawl after that breaks loose. T-Bar and Mace get eliminated. RKO, the Viking Raiders, and The New Day remain. We get a forearm by Woods. Double shoulder tackle by the Raiders on Woods. Kick on both Ivar and Eric by Riddle. Knee by Woods on Riddle, and Riddle gets eliminated. Woods gets eliminated by Eric. Orton begins to take control. We get a power slam by Randy Orton. Raiders take control over Orton. Riddle, even though he was eliminated, he took the Trouble in Paradise by Kofi Kingston. And then the Viking Raiders eliminate Randy Orton. I believe it was Randy Orton. Yep, it was. And the Viking Raiders win the Battle Royal, and they will face Omas and AJ Styles for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Do I care about this match? Absolutely not. I mean, finally they do something different, because these past few weeks were just rematches after rematches after rematches. But we kind of got rematches tonight too. But I honestly do not care about this Battle Royal. I'm glad that the Viking Raiders won. First off, I'm not even going to call them the Viking Raiders. They're called the War Raiders. But I mean, like, I honestly could care less. Glad they won. I'm just not that big of a fan. I'm just, like, not that big of a fan of, like, what's going on Raw, as I mean. I don't mean the Viking Raiders. The Viking Raiders are awesome. I'm just saying, I'm just not that big of a fan what WWE does, especially on this really horrible show. All right. We got Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville backstage. Charlotte Flair comes in and talks about her match with Nikki Cross last week. And she says, and hear this. She wants her match off her record. Wow, I did not know wins and losses matter on WWE television. Clearly they do. They just don't explain it. I know it's really terrible. I don't know why, but it is what it is. What happens is that Rhea comes in and again over-scripted as hell. Like, it's so cringe when she speaks. It's not even funny. And talks about how she respects Nikki Cross. And then Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville come up with the proposition that they should team together tonight against Nikki Cross and a partner of Nikki Cross's choosing. Do I care? Absolutely not. First off, why is Nikki Cross into the mix? That makes absolutely no sense. It's really stupid. It goes to show you the lack of logic on Raw, especially. I mean, there is lack of logic on SmackDown, but it's more of it on Raw. Like, you see a lot of lack of logic here, and it's really not that good. All right. We get the Viking Raiders backstage celebrating their wins, and Omas and AJ Styles confront them, of course. Typical heel stuff. We get a Elias segment with Jackson Riker. Well, he's talking about Jackson Riker. Says he saw the ghost of war and the man that would go to battle. But he did not see that man, that being Jackson Riker, that would go to battle for him, that being Elias. Jackson Riker attacks Elias from behind with a new look, so he no longer has long hair. That's great. Throws his guitar outside, and then all of a sudden we go to commercial break, and what do you know? They instantly sanction a match out of nowhere. Jackson Riker versus Elias, or I don't even know if this was announced before on Twitter. I don't even know. Honestly, WWE does not even announce a lot of their matches and a lot of stuff that's really going on Raw. Let's be 100% honest here. All right. Riker works on Elias. We got a splash in the corner. We got a kick on Elias. Takes Elias outside the ring. Both are on the outside. Elias takes Riker's head to the steps. Takes him back in the ring. Elias works on Riker. We got a spine buster by Elias. We got a cover and a near fall. Right hand by Elias. Riker works on Elias after that. Elias hits an inverted atomic drop. Riker plants Elias to the mat. Elias runs away, and the match ends in a countout. Riker wins the match. I guarantee you they're going to be doing rematches after rematches the next couple of weeks on Raw with Elias and Jackson Riker, to the point where each of those matches are going to end in ending in DQs. I swear to God. They're going to be, I guarantee you, I will call it. Next week, we're going to see a rematch between Elias and Jackson Riker. I guarantee you that. Not only that, we're going to get a disqualification finish. That's what's going to happen. I guarantee you that. All right. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre contract signing. This was it was a standard contract signing, but it was not that bad. I mean, I kind of enjoyed it. Bobby Lashley does not come out, and of course, McIntyre in typical babyface fashion cuts a promo. I don't even remember what he was talking about. I was just listening to what he was saying, but I didn't even pay attention because, honestly, watching this show, and especially in the beginning of watching the show, I literally almost fell asleep. I was that tired, and I was like, well, I don't even want to watch this show. But, hey, I have to do a review. But he does cut a promo. Of course, MVP after that interrupts. Says that they were a little late, and they finally come out. MVP congratulates Drew McIntyre by manipulating himself to get another WWE Championship match with Bobby Lashley. Asks Adam Pearce for a proposition. If McIntyre loses, he will not challenge Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship again. McIntyre wants a match with no interference, so that's Drew McIntyre's proposition. Lashley later cuts a promo on him walking out of shame, that being McIntyre. McIntyre says he's going to beat him at Hell in a Cell and tells Lashley, see you in hell. And Lashley leaves, but McIntyre after that literally grabs the freaking sword and just slices the freaking table. If that is not so Vince McMahon, that is really Vince McMahon. What I mean by that term is literally you know how Vince McMahon loves booking his baby faces? Literally, he wants to make them strong as hell. when that happened, when McIntyre literally just split the table in half with the sword, I was like, that is so Vince McMahon. Literally, when a mega babyface tries to do that, that is 100% Vince McMahon. All right. We get a interview backstage with Nikki Cross. I do not care at all. Brings her tag team partner, and her tag team partner is the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. So that's great. And they're just dancing around backstage. All right, Sheamus. He got his little segment. But of course, we got Ricochet versus Humberto Carrillo for a number one contenders match for the U.S. heavyweight title. Sheamus has a mask, and this mask is a face mask, not your COVID face mask, like an entire face mask, because of how badly he got, quote-unquote, injured in kayfabe last week. Well, that was a devastating kick to the face. I think it was a kick to the face, or I think it was a forearm. Correct me if I'm wrong. But literally what happened, Sheamus comes out with the mask, Cody Rhodes style, if you guys don't remember, way back in 2011 when I first started watching in 2010. But around the spring, the beginning of the spring of 2011, Cody Rhodes had this mask on in the feud of Rey Mysterio, after Rey Mysterio literally just 619 to Cody Rhodes and just had that. After that, dashing Cody Rhodes, you remember that gimmick, had that literally face mask all over him. This is basically Sheamus now. All right, so he cuts a promo about what happened last week and talks about how both of them get a number one contenders match. He's just pissed off about it. Then all of a sudden, Humberto jumps over the top turnbuckle and tricks Sheamus. Ricochet after that springboard moonsaults and tricks Sheamus again. Or at this time, tricks Sheamus. And then we get a dropkick by Ricochet on Humberto. Ricochet, well, by this point, the match already starts. Ricochet works on Carrillo. We get a clothesline in the corner by Ricochet. We get a slam by Ricochet, cover and a near fall. A right hand by Ricochet. We get a waist lock by Ricochet. A springboard crossbody by Humberto. We get a cover and a near fall. We get a chop by Humberto. A roll up and a near fall. Powerbomb by Humberto. He begins to work on Ricochet in the corner. Both exchange shots. Humberto takes Ricochet over the top rope. Ricochet takes Humberto over the ring. We get a dropkick by Ricochet on Humberto. Then we get a suicide dive by Humberto. Dropkick by Humberto. Covering a near fall. We get a gut wrench suplex by Ricochet. German suplex by Ricochet after that. Followed by a near fall cover attempt. Chops by Ricochet. Humberto chops back with right hands by both. Spanish fly after that. We get a Spanish fly. That was actually a pretty sick move. I love the Spanish fly. I mean, I can instantly remember Sammy Guevara Spanish fly and Cody Rhodes in that first match on Dynamite. But that Spanish fly outside the ring looked brutal. If I were to say who got the worst of it, it was definitely Ricochet. He hit that ground floor like it was concrete. And I'm not even joking. That looked devastating. The match ends in a double countout, our second countout of the night. Yes, I know. Now we don't got disqualifications, we got countouts. And this match was actually going on so well. What the hell is going to be happening now? We got a number one contenders match and it ends in a no contest, in a double countout. A draw, as the ring announcer says. So the match ends in a draw, and that's that. We get Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods backstage. MVP comes in and wants to talk to Kofi. Says he was impressed with Kofi's match last week against Drew McIntyre. Talks about him winning the WWE Championship. Says Kofi Mania was great, but it ended badly. As you guys know, Kofi's reign was pretty decent. I enjoyed it. But on that debut episode of SmackDown on Fox, Kofi Kingston lost to Brock Lesnar in 5 seconds. 5 seconds. That title reign that I said was pretty good or decent ended in 5 seconds, bro. I'm still pissed off about that. I don't even know why they did that. That was one of the most laziest things WWE has ever did. If you want to devalue the WWE Championship, literally just end a title reign that was pretty much praised by fans in 5 seconds. Talks about him winning the WWE Championship. He says Kofi Mania was great, but it ended badly, as I stated earlier. Says it ended because he was not like Bobby Lashley. Says after he shakes McIntyre's hand, he loves being the loser. And basically, Kofi cuts an awesome promo about, talking about his family, all that stuff, and, the struggles getting his title shot and finally achieving his dreams and all that crap. And then all of a sudden, Kofi Kingston says he does not want MVP's advice. Where does this lead to? I honestly believe that they're going to be doing something with Kofi Kingston again. I'm definitely an advocate for Kofi Mania 2. I mean, come on now, man. Kofi Kingston was an awesome champion, in my opinion. Granted, the way that they try to book him was not that great, and the fact that he lost to Brock Lesnar in 5 seconds was really stupid. But I was there when Kofi Kingston won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 35. It was one of the best moments I've ever experienced watching wrestling as a whole. I mean, it was amazing. But do I want Kofi Mania 2 to happen? Yeah, I actually do. The only thing that kind of concerns me is, like, how are they going to implement Kofi Kingston in this situation? I mean, WWE, they again, as I stated earlier, they use a lot of lack of logic. They don't even use logic at all when it comes to their build-ups to pay-per-views and booking decisions. So they have to figure out a way to really try to implement Kofi here. But hey, that's that. We'll find out later on. Jeff Hardy versus Cedric Alexander. Finally, we don't got Shelton Benjamin versus Cedric Alexander for like the gajillionth time. Match starts, both lock up. Hardy sends Alexander in each corner, works on Alexander. We get off the second rope. Hardy drops Alexander. We get a drop kick by Alexander, a cover and a near fall, drop kick in the back of Hardy, cover and a near fall, works on Hardy. Hardy fights back. We get an elbow by Alexander, a cover and a near fall, kicks by Alexander. Then we get a chin lock by Cedric Alexander. Hardy begins to fight back. Right hands by Hardy. We get a Hurricane Rana by Jeff Hardy. Then we get an atomic drop and a Russian leg sweep. Plants Alexander in the mat. Near fall, but Alexander counters the twist of fate. Drop kick it in the knee. We get a suplex by Alexander. We get a cover and a near fall. Alexander is on the top. We get a kick by Hardy. Then we get a twist of fate by Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy goes to the top. We get a swanton bomb by Hardy. Hardy wins the match. Honestly, do I care about this match? No, I do believe that they're not doing Jeff Hardy justice. I mean, Jeff Hardy should honestly be at the top, but instead he's just right here. But, I mean, it is what it is. I guarantee you there's going to be a rematch between Jeff Hardy and Cedric Alexander in which Cedric Alexander goes over, or that match ends in a DQ. Watch. There's going to be 2 rematches and probably more rematches next week. It's going to be Rematch-a-mania next week on Raw. I guarantee you that. All right. Charlotte confronts Rhea Ripley. She wants Charlotte to follow her lead, and, we all know what's going to happen later on in the match. All right, we got Nikki Cross and Asuka versus Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Both Nikki and Charlotte lock up. Rhea tags in. Both Ripley and Nikki lock up. Roll up by Nikki. A kick out. Asuka tags in. We get a big boot that missed by Ripley. Shoulder tackle no sell by Rhea Ripley. Headbutt by Ripley. A single leg armbar by Asuka. A shoulder tackle by Ripley. Charlotte tags in. We get a couple chops by Charlotte. Nikki tags in. We get a drop kick by Asuka. We get a cover and a near fall. Nikki is legal. Asuka tags in. Works on Charlotte. We get a headlock by Charlotte. Ripley tags in. Ripley gets sent to the outside. Then we get an argument by Charlotte and Rhea in the outside. Then we get a right hand by Charlotte on Rhea Ripley, which is hilarious. Cross is working on Ripley. We get a takedown by Cross, a right hand by Cross, roll up by Cross, 2 count. Then we get a chop by Ripley. Works on Cross in the corner. Charlotte tags in. We get a cover on Nikki by Charlotte, but we get a 2 count. Works on Nikki, knees to the back on Nikki, and a kick. Chin lock by Charlotte. Chops Ripley for the tag. Takes down Charlotte. Suplex by Ripley. We get a cover and a near fall. Taps the head of Charlotte after that. That was funny as hell. Jawbreaker by Cross. Charlotte tries to go for after Asuka, but misses. We get a sunset flip by Nikki Cross on Charlotte. We get a 2 count. Cross counters the gut wrench suplex. Asuka tags in. We get a running bulldog by Asuka. Double knees to the face of Ripley. Northern leg suplex by Ripley. A German suplex by Ripley. A hip attack by Asuka on Ripley. Cross is on the top. We get a cross body by Cross. Cover, but Charlotte makes the save, surprisingly. Back and forth, right hands by Charlotte and Ripley after that. So, again, you know that there's tension happening. Charlotte counters the Riptide and hits a natural selection. Cross pins Ripley to win the match. That part pissed me off. Now, look. I did state that Rhea Ripley was really mad over scripted. They're not letting Rhea Ripley just speak the way Rhea Ripley speaks. Instead, they're just giving her these really cringy ass lines like this. I am not a vampire. I'm a nightmare. If that is not over scripted, I do not know what is. But the fact that you had Nikki Cross of all people pin Rhea Ripley is so stupid. And you're going to have some people on Twitter be like, "Oh my god, it's just for the story and all." Who cares? She's your champion. Isn't she your babyface? Why the hell you got Nikki Cross of all people who, in my assumption, is not going to be over once fans come back in attendance? Maybe I'm wrong, but like, I'm just not that big of a fan of Nikki Cross. When she cuts a promo, I do not believe what she's saying as well. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. But the fact that Rhea Ripley got pinned by Nikki Cross was really stupid. Oh, but Charlotte was part of it. No, I don't care. She still got pinned. It was so stupid. That's a really bad booking decision, in my opinion. All right, we got Mansoor versus Drew Gulak. A match that I honestly do not care about whatsoever. I do not care about this match at all. Gulak works on Mansoor. We get a couple right hands by Mansoor. A big boot by Gulak. A cover and a near fall. A cradle and a kick out. Roll up by Gulak. And then we get a reversal pinfall attempt by Mansoor, and Mansoor wins the match. Who cares? I'm just not invested in Drew Gulak or Mansoor at all. They're great wrestlers. I'm just not invested in them at all. There's just why are we having this match? First off, why are we having this match? And it makes absolutely no sense. I just do not know. All right. Then we get our last match of the evening before we got that debacle of Alexa's Playground. Kofi Kingston versus Riddle. I'm not going to lie, this match was not that bad. If anything, I would call this the best match of the night. We get a takedown by Riddle. We get a headbutt by Kingston. A couple right hands in the corner by Kingston. A kick by Kingston, covering a 1 count. A splash by Kingston. A kick by Kingston. A gut wrench suplex by Riddle, covering a near fall. We get a Broton by Riddle. Francesca after that is interrupting. Of course, Francesca is Xavier Woods, his trombone. So it's Xavier Woods' trombone. That was hilarious. Kingston works on Riddle. We get a chop by Kingston, a cover and a near fall. Randy Orton comes out, a drop kick by Kingston on the second rope. A sliding drop kick by Kingston on Orton. A drop kick on Riddle. Side suplex on Woods on the table. We get an exploder by Riddle. A kick by Riddle, double stomp by Kingston, botched Hurricane Rana after that. Stomp by Kingston, a cover and a near fall. Splash by Kingston, cover and a near fall. Kingston is on the top. We get a slap by Matt Riddle, a superplex counter by Kingston, a crossbody from the back of Riddle. We get a near fall. Kingston is on the outside. We get a forearm by Riddle, works on Riddle on the outside. A DDT by Riddle, Randy Orton style. So basically, he basically did the same DDT that Randy Orton does. Riddle tries to RKO Kofi Kingston, which, I understand what they're trying to go for, but come on, that's really stupid. But after that, Riddle misses. Trouble in Paradise after that on Matt Riddle. Kofi Kingston wins the match. He beats Riddle. So yeah, what are my thoughts? This was not a bad match. I really enjoyed the match. Let's see what they're gonna do here. Literally throughout this entire show, Kofi Kingston was in a freaking battle royal. He had a segment with MVP, and also he's in another storyline with Matt Riddle. So literally, Kofi Kingston is all over the place on this show. But yeah, we get Shayna Baszler backstage with Nia Jax, and Nia Jax is basically saying, you better watch out because Alexa, she's been weird lately these past few months. Over-scripted BS. Come on now, man. This literally feels like I'm watching a horror movie. Raw in general is a horror movie, and it's not a good one. But Raw, look, this is Raw. Raw is a pure example of a really bad horror movie remake. Because, a lot of people cannot come up with originality nowadays when it comes to the horror genre. But, Raw is basically a horror movie remake. That's what it is. And literally, this is what this whole segment was. When the show ended, I did not know what the hell I was watching. I honestly felt like I was what am I watching? Am I watching an episode of Goosebumps, or am I watching and I know Goosebumps is not really a legit horror TV show, But come on, I'm just throwing it out there. Am I watching an episode of Goosebumps or am I watching Raw? You know what I'm saying? All right, we get Alexa's Playground. So Alexa Bliss is in the ring with Shayna Baszler. Shayna comes in and takes out the rocking horse and sits on the swing. Alexa says that her and Lily will give her a chance to be her new friend. Wants Shayna to apologize. Shayna says that she is more delusional. Says she's the reason behind Reginald's accident. Says that she's the reason why her and Nia are not the women's tag team champions. I never wanted them to be the women's tag team champions, first off. Mainly because Shayna should not even be in a tag team with Nia Jax. Alexa says that they want us all to be friends. Alexa says it will be in her best interest to apologize to Lily. What the hell am I watching? What the hell am I reading? Granted, these are my notes, but like, what the hell am I reading? Like, it goes to show you like the dialogue that these people. I mean, look, I understand what they're trying to do with Alexa Bliss, and I did state that Alexa Bliss is doing the best work of her career, but like, I mean, sometimes it's a little too much, in my opinion. Shayna snatches Lily and says, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you are a stupid doll." The same line that she said last week. Then we get a right hand. Alexa literally comes up and just right hands Shayna Baszler. And she attacks Shayna. Then after that, Shayna just steps on the doll. And then she stomps on the doll, which is Lily. And then all of a sudden, weird stuff begins to happen. And you had the commentators, of course, sell it. They were selling it, of course. All of the LED boards were just flashing. We get a supernatural, like a lot of supernatural crap was going on. Flames of pyro just begin to happen, and Shayna begins to run away. Then we get a shot of Shayna coming in from Gorilla. Lights are flashing out of nowhere, so this is where the terrible part comes in. Stuff keeps falling out of nowhere. Shayna tries to go to the door, but the door is not opening. Shayna locks the door. Lights are still flashing. She turns to the freaking mirror, and literally a freaking doll, Lily, is like right there. And I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Literally, the entire feud is just Lily, a freaking doll versus Shayna Baszler. That is the whole freaking feud. She knocks on the mirror, and then all of a sudden, all the lights go off, and Shayna Baszler just screams at the end of the show. Like, what the hell is that? You wonder why people do not watch Raw. It's because of shit like this. And I know, look, people are going to say, oh, but Undertaker did some stuff similar to this. And you're right. But I feel like an issue with this is the fact that, like, granted, some of the supernatural stuff that they did with The Undertaker, I mean, like, I could go back to 2005 with Randy Orton. Remember when he was playing Mind Games with Randy Orton? It was pretty funny because it was stupid, but at the same time, it was terrible. But, like, I mean, stuff like this, I mean, The Undertaker's awesome, you know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people liked it. And a lot of people didn't like it at the same time. But with this, it's a freaking doll. It's not even Alexa Bliss. It's a freaking doll. So we got Supernatural. We got a living doll. We got Annabelle, basically, on Monday Night Raw. Like, if you wonder why nobody watches Raw, it's because of this shit. Like, nobody watches Raw, first off. You got one of the reasons why Raw sucks. I'm going to name a lot of reasons why Raw sucks. There's a lot of over-scripting. Stuff that doesn't need to be happening. You got hella rematches. You got, just stupid dialogue and stuff like this that really that happens that no fan wants to watch. Wrestling fans have different tastes, and some fans watch not even for the wrestling. But I mean, just a couple weeks ago, you had literally fans on Twitter just defend the freaking zombie debacle that happened at WrestleMania Backlash. And now we got this. Now, granted, the zombies were worse because you had the commentators sell it like they were actual freaking zombies. But, the commentators were selling on this too. I mean, like, nobody's going to buy into this shit anymore. WWE is always ashamed of the business that they are in. They claim that they are not in the wrestling business, and they are in the sports entertainment business. They are in the entertainment business. No. Yes, wrestling is entertainment. Pro wrestling is entertainment. But you're pro wrestling. Why is there a wrestling ring and you got wrestlers wearing wrestling boots, wrestling attire, wrestling, and there's a referee there? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a wrestling ring there. You're a wrestling show. You are a wrestling show, and that's that. You will always be a wrestling show. I mean, all of your other ventures like WWE Studios, frickin' XFL, and look, XFL I heard was not. Look, XFL got great reviews last year, but of course COVID happened, and you know what happened with that. But like WWE is honestly ashamed to be in the pro wrestling business. It is what it is. I know it's really stupid, but after watching this, it literally gives me a clear assumption that WWE is ashamed to be in the professional wrestling business. So yeah, Raw ends as a horror movie. I mean, granted, this whole show is a horror movie every week, but again, like, first off, you have writers, 70 freaking writers that probably have good ideas, but like are just turned down. First off, you don't even need writers in wrestling. You don't need writers in wrestling. There's a clear difference, in my opinion. There's a clear difference between booking and writing. Writing is you're basically just writing everything piece by piece. Booking is just giving bullet points and just, order of matches and all that stuff. WWE does not book. Granted, they do some stupid booking decisions, so I take that back. They do book. They book. But they mix that element with writing, and writing is terrible. When it comes to their dialogue, you hear Rhea Ripley speak. You don't believe anything that she says. Like, instead of giving her freaking lines that are cringeworthy, give her bullet points and just let her cut the promo on her own. You know what I'm saying? Or, like, with stuff like this, I mean, like, why are you doing stuff like this? With this whole freaking supernatural garbage. Like, nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. And the people that actually want this are, in my opinion, do not know what they're watching at all. I mean, a lot of people say that Raw is the worst wrestling show, and it is. And I could go as far as to say some people even think that this is the worst show on television, and it is. This is the worst show on television, and it's not even funny anymore. It's funny, but there's going to be a point where I think we've reached to the point where it's not even funny anymore. It's downright embarrassing, mainly because WWE is the number one professional wrestling company in the United States. Not only that, the number one professional wrestling company in the entire world. They're basically the NFL of pro wrestling. And they give you this. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's the problem. And you know what's the main problem in WWE? It's Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, and freaking Bruce Pritchard. Those are the reasons as to why this show is terrible. If you had if literally Vince McMahon literally stepped out of power, at least in creative, he can still own the company, but like at least, step down from creative. You could bring in a Paul Heyman, but and people said, oh, but Paul Heyman was the head of Raw writing for the show. No, he wasn't. He was writing for Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon always had the final say. If Paul Heyman was writing this show and Vince McMahon did not have the final say, I honestly believe that this show would have been much better. But, again, Vince McMahon is in his mid-70s, bro. And he's still head of creative. He controls every creative aspect that this show has. And, look, I will say this about Vince McMahon. He is a smart businessman. He is a really smart businessman. Even at his age now, he knows how to make money. And it's phenomenal. He knows how to make money, and I respect him for that. Hell, we should all respect Vince McMahon, mainly because he brought wrestling where it is today. But I'm talking about creatively. Creatively, in 2021, he is garbage. I'm sorry. He is absolutely terrible and should not even be in the position that he's in. Okay? He should not even be in the position that he's in and just literally just focus on the business aspect of WWE and let somebody else, maybe, I don't know, a Triple H. If Triple H was running the helm, I said Paul Heyman before, but you all know the people in the room always laugh at Paul Heyman because everybody knows that Paul Heyman is much better creatively than half of the kiss asses that are in Gorilla. But I mean, you don't even have to bring in Paul Heyman. You can bring in like Triple H, and Triple H would know what to do and literally know what makes this show good. Like what makes that. My words are just mixed up. I'm sorry. This show is not good at all. Forgive me for my words. I'm talking about when Triple H is at the helm. If he's ever in the helm, writing for this show. I honestly believe that this show would be much better off. But no, we got this garbage. We got supernatural shit happening. So yeah, That's Raw from, I don't even know what day, June 7th, June 6th. I literally forgot. June 8th or June, I don't even know, June 7th. But yeah, that was Monday Night Raw from June 7th, 2021. We got supernatural shit happening on Raw, guys. So please like, subscribe, comment down below, push that bell for notifications. And this is Broken Havoc from the Broken Havoc podcast. Signing out.